Good morning. It's Tuesday, October 13th. It's approximately 8 a.m. and I'm going for a walk. And as you can tell by the background behind me, it's overcast with low clouds or fog. And I'm enjoying that because it's keeping the sun out. But I'm sure it's going to burn off in a little while and it'll get hot and humid. So the humidity is kind of high, but the temperature is about 75 degrees already, with the fog keeping that heat in. So I've decided to do a little practice walk, hike, whatever you want to call it, of several miles. I have 4 hours to get to my destination where I made an appointment to donate blood. So I deliberately picked a place that was several miles away to give me, I guess, motivation to go out and walk. So I figure I can get there actually in 2 hours. But I'm going to take an extra loop, which should add another hour, and then I have an extra hour kind of to play with the time, and if I decide I want to go get something to eat before I donate blood, which usually isn't a problem for me, but just because I'm doing the walking, I thought it might be a good idea. And then depending on how I feel after that, I will either walk back or I will call my support team for a ride. So we'll see how it plays out. But anyway, nothing going on too much right now. Just started out and it's early. So I actually decided to wear some headphones. I'm recording through my headphones. I hope the sound comes out well. So just checking in again, I just passed the 2 mile mark and I've been walking approximately 40 minutes. So I'm pretty much on pace with what I usually do, which is 3 miles per hour. Works out to 20 minutes a mile, and I'm basically being consistent. So I worked out, the place I'm going to is about 6.2 miles away from where I started. I figured I would need basically 2 hours, even with delays and stuff. I figured 2 hours, 15 minutes. And I decided to add this extra loop over here because it's a nice tree-lined street. Gives you shade, but it also adds another 2 miles on. So I'm looking at doing, an 8.1, 8.2 mile walk in order to get to the place where there's supposed to be the blood collection. I'm assuming they're going to have the bloodmobile, as they call it. Usually they have a big bus that's been converted for that use. And so that's about 8.2 miles away. So I figure 3 hours is more than enough, but I added myself an extra time. I'm probably going to try and grab some breakfast, or lunch I should say, really. I haven't eaten anything yet today. I have a little bit of water. I got the last of my pee from my had a pee in the woods drink. So it's lemonade, basically. I filled up a bottle of lemonade. So I was using up the last of the packets of the lemonade flavor to mix up this drink. So I'll drink that probably on my way to just trying to put it back in. Can't do walking, put something away at the same time, I guess, anymore. And I'll probably use up the rest of that water on my walk, especially later on when the humidity starts going up with the sun and the temperatures. But there's a nice breeze right now, so it's pretty good. So the temperature's probably still in the mid 70s. Probably climbing up a little bit as the sun gets higher. And just a matter of time before probably this fog burns off and it gets warm. So, but enjoying the cool breeze swimming time. This is going to serve as a good practice for me. Obviously, do some conditioning. It's been probably 2 weeks since I did a walk of any note, and nothing involving really a pack and weight. My pack's probably close to 20 pounds. I have probably about 4 liters, maybe 5 liters of water in it total to add that weight. and I put my sleeping bag on there just for bulk. But other than that, there's really nothing in there. I think a first aid kit, that's it. So I really don't need anything. So, and I have some miscellaneous things, like I still carry my water filter even though I don't need it. It just stays in the pocket, I never take it out. And I also have my rain jacket, and I actually brought rain pants in case it rains. But I just checked the forecast again, and unfortunately, there's really no rain forecast. I was actually hoping for some, not because I really like walking in the rain, but I really want to test out my new rain jacket in good conditions with rain and see how it works. So, oh, Mr. Squirrel. There's Mr. Squirrel. Staring away from me. He's a little skittish, understandably so. Oh, there he is. Going back in his tree. So, sorry to have disturbed his morning routine. So I was really hoping that it would rain just so that I could try out my rain jacket, and I brought my Frog Tog rain pants just to keep me drier since I am going somewhere and I don't feel like being wet and then going into an air-conditioned place. But it doesn't look like that's going to happen today. So that's just part of being prepared. You know, you should always have your rain jacket. The weatherman gets it wrong sometimes. They're not always right. And just because they don't predict rain where you're at doesn't mean it won't rain somewhere else, or, you know, where you walk into. You know, the forecast is not accurate for every spot and every location within the jurisdiction that they, you know, cover or publish their report for. So, but pretty much I'm not expecting any rain. The chances are really slim. I think it's like 10%. So that means more often than not, I'm not going to get anything. But you still want to be prepared. And that's pretty much all I'm carrying. I have a couple of snacks. I really don't want to eat too much snacks or carry too much. I figure if I'm going to stop for lunch, that'll be the bulk of my calories for the day. I did bring some snacks, which I'll probably have in a little while. I'm probably going to make at least an hour plus. And I think I'll probably pass a coffee shop at some point. I might get some coffee since I haven't had any today. And it wouldn't hurt. Although, if I skip it, it wouldn't be a big deal either. So, trying to burn some calories and lose some weight, get into shape. Hello again. It's about 9:15 or like 10 after 9 in the morning. I've walked almost 4 miles now, so I figured it was time for a little breakfast or snack. And I bought a couple of these online, and I'm going to try them for the first time. I like the jelly bean, obviously good for sugar and some carbs and some energy, but these are sports beans, so basically they're like jelly beans with added stuff. So they add some extra electrolytes, and they also add caffeine to them, so which is good for me because when I usually go hiking or camping, I don't usually want to make breakfast in the morning and cook, so I don't bother having coffee. So just to make sure I still get a little caffeine, which gives you a little pep, a little energy, and I also don't suffer from, you know, caffeine withdrawal while I'm on trail. I figured this was a good idea. So I'm gonna give them a try and we'll see how they taste. There's 3 different flavors, I believe, in here. So hopefully they'll be good. I've never had them before, but I've been waiting to try them. So I expect them to taste okay. They're a jelly bean. Just checking in again. It's about 10:15. I've gone about 7 miles now. I just passed my hopefully last major road, 8-lane road, to continue my walk. So basically doing well, on schedule. Those sports beans with the caffeine were okay. Just flavors were slightly off, if you ask me. Not exactly as good as regular jelly beans are. So I'll probably eat up what I have, but I don't know if I'll order them again. However, if I do want some caffeine, in addition to just, you know, some carbs and sugar as a pick-me-up, I'll probably end up having to use those, or maybe I'll look to some other products. I like the tablets for the water, the Nun tablets. They seem to taste better, and I can just add it to my water and drink it. So they're a little bulkier, obviously, and a little pricey, but what can you do? Okay, was just walking around, had a bicyclist go to pass me, and I guess he misjudged the curb there, and he took a spill basically right 5 feet in front of me. He's okay, minor scratches, a little bit of blood, nothing bad, but he's obviously going on his way. But definitely, 1 minute he's passing me, I see him passing me, and the next minute he's basically laying at my feet. So I helped him up, and he's on his way. That's the most excitement I've had all day. Had a moment of panic there when I went on a map site, tried using Google Maps actually, and I put in the name of the gas station I'm going to, where supposedly they're supposed to be doing this blood drive, and it told me it was 5 miles away from where I'm at currently. And here I am, I'm looking at the time and I'm thinking, okay, that means I really got to kick up the pace, and I'll barely make it. I won't have time for lunch, and I'll barely make it at noon. If I really hustle, I can make it at noon. And I'm thinking, like, that can't be right. And I'm double checking it, and I realize obviously that's another one, but it's not the closest one. So had a little bit of a panic moment there where I'm thinking, like, wow, did I misjudge my distance that bad? What did I do wrong? And then I realized the Google Map had picked the wrong location of the gas station where they're doing the blood drive. So I'm actually coming up on it now. I made it to the Wawa, which is where the blood drive is. I have 1 hour until my appointment, so I figured I'd get some lunch. So I'm going to be having a cheesesteak sandwich, a diet root beer, I'm going to hydrate, and some salt and vinegar chips. And I'll pass my time. My watch says basically it was 9 miles to get here. So I'm thinking, do I want to walk up 9 miles home, which is 3 hours walking, and after giving the blood I might do it, or maybe I'll do part of the distance, maybe like 5-6 miles, make it a 13, 14 or 15 mile day, and then I'll get a pickup. So remains to be seen, but we'll see what we do. We have a lot of options that I don't usually have on the trail. Well, just to give an update, I have just left the Wawa after unfortunately being turned away from donating blood. I guess it wasn't such a good idea to hike prior to donating blood, as they said my pulse rate was too high and they would not be able to let me donate. So unfortunately, I'll have to come back another day to donate. So, good intentions that didn't work out. So I decided to turn around now, and I'm going to start walking home. And I'll take a different route than when I came here, and I'm looking at approximately another 2 hours of hiking, 5 miles basically. Just checking in. I've just reached 4 hours of walking, and I've passed 12 miles. So figure I have another maybe hour at the most to make it to my house, where I will most gladly shed this pack and take a nice shower. It's pretty warm out here. Currently in my area, it's showing me it's 88 degrees, but it feels like 93 with the humidity. So it's definitely a hot one, and I'm feeling it. Just decided to check in. It's about 1:45 now. I have a little over 2 miles, about maybe a quarter miles to go to reach my destination. So I'm hoping to finish around 2:30 to 240 today, depending if I can keep this pace up. But I seem to be pretty much doing 20 miles a minute, 20 minutes a mile, or slightly less. So I've been gaining a little bit. I've been walking a little stronger. I'm trying to push myself a little bit to make up some time, as well as obviously I took a rest, so it helped out a little bit. So I've continued hiking. I'm taking this kind of like a back road, a diagonal road, which shaves some of the distance and some time on my hike. But more importantly, that it's almost 2 o'clock now, and the temperature is still showing around 88 degrees. It's probably 92 or so with the humidity. This gives me a little bit of shade from the sun. I'm walking on the south side of the street, so the trees are shading me from the sun as much as possible. There's some open stretches, but there's a lot of trees on this road, as you can see. It's a tree-lined road, so that's one of the reasons why I picked this for the hottest part of the day. So 45 minutes or less, I will be done. Can get a nice cool drink and take this pack off, and maybe even put my feet up somewhere. Probably not the feet part, that is, but definitely would like to take the pack off and maybe sit down for a little bit. And a cold drink certainly won't hurt. I'm almost back to my house. I've been walking for about 5 hours now. It's showing 15.2 miles so far. I think it's another 0.2, so I'll end up doing 15.4 miles total, and it'll probably be about 5 hours and 5 minutes total time. I'll put the ending time, if I can, in a text. I'm going to try and edit this on my phone and actually post it up maybe tonight or later to see if I can actually do it using my phone and develop a little bit of proficiency with it. And I'm hopefully going to do a couple more of these before hitting Ocala National Forest. That'll be in November, mid-November. I'm looking to do that sometime around the 15th, 16th, 17th, and 18th, hiking north through the forest. So this is a good practice to recording videos on my phone and then editing them and hopefully posting them up on the channel. Well, I've completed the walk. I'm back home. I am having my cold drink. It's just water, but it tastes good. I walked 15.4, or pretty good, and that's on par with what I usually do, which is 3 miles an hour. Obviously, I did a little better than that at some times in order to make the time, but not much. So that's it. Other than that, I had a good walk. Those sports beans were okay, as I said. The flavor's a little off. They're not as, I guess, tasty as a regular product would be for jelly beans. I'm used to the flavors tasting a little different. The word cherry, which to me is a flavor usually you can't go wrong with, watermelon and pomegranate. And the other ones tasted a little off, and that's probably due to the caffeine and the electrolytes that they add to it. They're still a little high in sugar, obviously, but they're not quite as candy flavored as I'm used to with the jelly bean. So, like I said, I'll probably use them, but I don't think I'll be purchasing those again. Maybe I'll look for a different product. Or a different flavor, actually. Other than that, really not eventful, except for that one bicyclist that fell in front of me. I did offer to give him some first aid. I offered him if he needed bandages or something, because I have some in my pack. Bought some of these offline.